This is going to be your what you need to know at present reading. I'll be picking a star sign from this deck and deciphering the messages through the Siren Starseed Tarot. This is going to be very universal in a sense that some of the messages that come through won't very much be directed at everyone. So if it's not resonating, then it's definitely not for you. It will be for somebody who watches it, who is guided to know certain things at this time. If you resonate with the siren or the Pleiades, the Lyrans, the Acturians, Andromedans, the list goes on. You'll understand what I'm saying if you're guided to this particular reading. Then the messages could be for you. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But let's start off with which star sign am I reading for, please? Aquarius. Okay, we've got Gemini underneath as well. So you could have Gemini in, for example, your North Node, I'm thinking and feeling. And it is Gemini North Node as well, actually. So it also could be very much to do with how your thinking is changing at this present time, how you're adapting to the Aquarian energies, and how that's working out for you at present, but what you need to know to manifest the things that you desire at present as well, because of the Aquarian new moon. So let's see what messages for Aquarius, please. Messages for Aquarius. This is a time for you to connect to your body, mind and soul, release any old energy, carry the light that you have within, especially if you've been seeing dark times recently. It's time to let go of that. I'm sure that Aquarius, being Aquarius, has already let go of that, but if you're still in a state of despair, then it is necessary for you to let that go, release and move forward and not hold on to any past energy. The number 3 could be resonating with you on some level or degree, whether it be family, siblings, whether it be a third party, whether it be a number of house, or whatever 3 resonates for you at this time will be a message for you to know about the abundance that is going to be prominent in your life, and it could be very much at the start of next month, being the 3rd month. So let's have a look. Aquarius, what messages is needed? Okay, the adept of orbs. Yeah, there is a release of holding on to negative thought patterns. Understanding that you're getting divine guidance through this time about where you need to be enlightened on the growth necessary for transformation. I feel a sense of sorrow as well. There is something that is telling me that you maybe had to let something dissolve without any more interference from your end. All you're wanting at the moment still is the truth, so that you can be set free to walk forward on the spiritual path, or even just a path that is suited for your here and now. You may have walked away from mental conflict regarding a emotional conflict with, could be another person, or it could be very much about how you want to drive your life and the necessary changes, how you go about it. you may have been very much in your head, and that could be very much why the Gemini card was coming out, because Gemini and Aquarius are both air signs. They both govern the mind. If you're being in 2 or 3 states of mind and being very mentally conflicted, you're now letting that go. You're still wanting an answer about what has happened and why it's happened, but it will come to you if you just allow yourself to be able to see it as a thought and move forward. What else does Aquarius need to know, please? And I'm hearing that it's not going to take that long for whatever you need to know. Aquarius is about rapid change itself, and we have got planets in Aquarius that are quite prominent, and very much heaps of them. So what will be delivered at the right time where necessary. So what else have we got for Aquarius? But it is a need for you to just move on from this situation emotionally and mentally and physically if needed. The shadow. Okay, so recently you could have had a confrontation with some aspects of yourself that you weren't aware of, and certain things may have come into your life where it's brought to the surface old wounds and very much shadow aspects that you were not yet confronted with, that had been buried below the surface. I feel like you're now understanding the peace that needs to be made with that as well, because like underneath, before I keep shuffling, is the 9 of Wands. So you're letting, you're understanding that no longer you got that guard up and that mental conflict and maybe that verbal attacks that could be coming every which way possible. This is now a time of growth and manifestation of who you truly are at a core and moving forward in that direction. Aquarius, going within to your power, mastering that. But I'm also getting that there could have been an egotistical sense of self. You could have been in a energy where you were none the wiser about what was actually going on in your external world with people that maybe have had some sort of not interference, but some sort of impact on your life. The sun is now shining behind this gentleman instead of above or in front, is what I'm hearing. Is like you may have been the center of attention, or you may have actually gained some sort of social status in your time, but now the sun is setting, and I'm seeing that like you may be starting to understand there was necessary changes that needed to be made, and it's kind of brought out the dynamic of the shadow, but it could have been rough. It could have been rough for you to understand these things that were coming forth and how to play them out. You've got the 10 of Crystals. It could have been that you were very much focused on the material aspects of the 3 dimension, and not actually looking at things of yourself for self-growth. What have we got underneath? And building upon that. 8 of Crystals. Let's have a look a little bit further with clarification. Well, has the Adept of Divorce here for Aquarius? Aquarius is my favourite sign, it really is. They are all so vastly unique, and they have some very impactful purpose. Well, they have for myself anyway. They have something to bring that's enlightening, that's beautifying, that's quirky. It's Aquarius is very much who everybody should note as an example set for what it is to be independent, but also nurturing, balanced, and idealistic, creative as well. They do have a lot of charisma. They're the future signs. They're the innovator. But so is everybody, and so very much can be anybody else in the world. However, I've just noticed throughout my waking life, if I've ever had contact with an Aquarius or a Gemini even, they have this charismatic way of looking through life with crystal view. Okay, some of them you know, everyone has their faults, whatever, so do I, but at the end of the day, I've just gained a lot of wisdom from looking through the eyes of an Aquarius and how they deal with certain matters. That's not to say that you follow their lead, it's just an example set that a lot of them will give you an idea of what it is to love yourself, as well as move forward in an independent and balanced manner. Clarify the Adept of Orbs for Aquarius. Clarify the Adept of Orbs for Aquarius. Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so you wanted the truth around something that is residing in your 3D, in your physical sense, in your to do with money. Okay, let's go a little bit further. There could have been a judgment call made upon money. Okay, okay, so there's the Three of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So something has come into effect in your life, and it's very much in recent past, I feel, where you felt betrayed by something that you weren't exactly sure about the truth upon. Okay, so what you did was you set that free, so you didn't suffer any kind of potential heartbreak. But realistically, you were up in your head and you weren't too sure about what was fact and what was fiction. Let's have a look at Eight of Chalices. So that was your mindset, and that created a lot of conflict. So what you did was move forward from that. Like, this is what I'm seeing with the Eight of Chalices, the new movement forward, taking that risk to go, it's not worth me delving into any more of this unnecessary drama that has caused the upheaval in some sort of life scenario, and you took the action to be able to take that message, or that message delivered to that person, that I'm not putting up with this, I'm moving forward in my own endeavours. Clarify the shadow, please. I feel like also that you could have been carrying a lot of weight, a lot of baggage, a lot of things that you weren't completely honest about. I feel like you were just keeping your head held high and understanding that this is how you deal with stuff, love it or leave it, and that's how you moved forward. What you're wanting and what you've manifested has actually come into your life just recently, but then there's the shadow card that we're going to go into and find out why the shadow is here, and it's the center card. So I feel like this is the very present, the prominent energy that may or may not be mastered just yet. Let's have a look. Okay, so Justice. Okay, so you're seeing that side of yourself. You're also seeing that it could have been something that you weren't prepared for, and now you're feeling like it was like, where's the justice in what has happened to me? But it really is about karmic balance, I feel, at this time. I feel like you're also setting the example for what needs to happen for you and your surroundings. Death and rebirth. Okay, so like, yeah, you've put an end to something, so you may still have aspects of your shadow self that you haven't fully discovered. You may have just put them to the side, and this could be very much wanting to know the truth about what had happened initially, but not taking responsibility for the things that could have been presented to you in some way or manner. And this is where I see like the Master of Flames and the sun in the background. Like, you're still trying to stand strong and tall, and you're not acknowledging the actual factors that are involved as to why these things have played out in your life, the unfairness. I do have the Empress underneath. It could be Taurus or Libra, female or a motherly type energy that could have had this conflict or impact on your life. But let's just go a little bit further. What's the Justice card here for Aquarius? Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. Okay, so there was some sort of discovery that you made throughout this agenda, this certain experience that you have had regarding your pentacles, regarding attachments, regarding the physical realm, regarding looking after your material, and making sure that you have set those goals that you have already set and that you have maybe manifested and mastered. Don't just get ripped away or taken advantage or taken for granted in a sense. The shadow card still being here says to me that that's what you feared, because the shadow card represents like the shadow itself. So it is something that we don't expose to ourselves until is exposed by the likes of others. And then that brings the emotional wounds to the surface, and you start pondering and questioning a lot more about life and why the hell it happened to you. So let's go with the Master of Flames. Why is the Master of Flames here? Why is the Master of Flames here? Eight of Cups, okay? So yeah, like, you walked away from a situation and may not have wanted to deal with those shadow aspects that you may have been exposed to. There's still somebody that's watching you closely to make sure that there is a chance for you. There is somebody that's watching you from maybe a distance that is only has your best interest at heart. They understand that maybe from here on in, there may be like a mountain or two to climb, that it's going to give you a structure in your spiritual self. In that sense, what I mean by that is understanding your spiritual self, and tackling those emotional wounds and suppressed memories, or anything that is related to not dealing with the past energy, or very like distant or recent. It could have been a loss of money. It could have also been something that you weren't prepared for in your past, that you didn't deal with, you just shut down and just moved on. So this is giving you a karmic lesson. This is also giving you a lesson that you need to know to evolve. Let's clarify the 10 of crystals, please. Clarify the 10 of crystals. Okay, so yeah, you're not wanting to jeopardize what you have already created for yourself, and what I feel like that means is that you are looking at one type of happiness, and that you may feel that is the only happiness in the home life, and what needs to take hold of, what needs to come into fruition is the fact that the material sense is all a part of you letting go of, not necessarily selling your stuff or anything like that, but letting go of that attachment to the material realm. Because I feel like, let's have a look, let's see if the Five of Cups comes out in this situation. Show me the Five of Cups. Okay, yeah, you don't want there to be anything that is not in your highest good, especially people that are trying to make offers to you that seem like they're not in alignment with what you desire or need. So there's a fear around what you've already gained for yourself and whatnot. The success, what you're feeling, I feel, has got a lot to do with the success that you've already made, and you feel like that will be the highest level of your happiness. But at the same time, underneath the Six of Wands, so this is the overall energy, underneath the Six of Wands is a refusal to see that cup of love. Okay, let's have a look what's underneath. Yeah, and then a judgment call will be made. You need to understand this lesson for a reason, and it's purely letting go of the material side of things for you to adapt to the shadow self, to understand yourself, to no longer bury those wounds from the past, and move forward in accepting the emotional sense and being driven to make self-improvement for later on. This is for your own self-growth. This is not for anybody else. This is for you, and it's very important. That needs to be addressed. What's underneath that again? The High Priestess is, yeah, okay, so let's have a look a little bit further with the Astro cards. Okay, let us see with the Black Moon astrology cards, what is at play at present. I have them all in there. Okay. So what is it at play for Aquarius at present, astrologically speaking? What is impacting Aquarius astrologically speaking at present? 3 cards, please. what is impacting Aquarius at present, astrologically speaking? We have the 12th house, the undoing. Okay, so these are the aspects that are buried deep within our unconscious. They are the past life scenarios, they are our escapism, they can be related to how we deal with things that we don't consciously bring to the surface at the time. Like I said, the Shadow Self card was there. Those escape acts, or acts of escape I should say, are related to 12th house, and 12th house is the undoing, it's the unconscious, it's that necessary changes that will make abruption or disrupt your life to make you aware. Fire, okay, so disruption, fire elements itself, they are for you to take action upon. Okay, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you could have them wherever in your chart. It is definitely for you to know that at this stage, if you sit and do nothing and just delve into the illusionary or the imaginative self and just pretend that things aren't there, this will backfire, and it's only for your self growth. One more for Aquarius, astro. What does Aquarius need to know astrologically speaking? Mars, and I knew this card was going to come out. So you could, like, I feel like this has got to do with your Mars placement. So have a look to where your Mars is in your astro chart, and then have a look at the sign and see what sign is governing Mars. For example, I've got Mars in Aquarius, so I had to take action very much prominently and make changes necessary for my future development. Now, this at a time like this, if you've got it in a fire sign, things are going to be especially prominent for you. I feel like you could be there could be a lot of eyes on you at the moment. There could be very much a lot of social demands. There could be a lot of family demands. There could also be a lot of uncomfortable feeling within yourself that you're not aware of why this is happening. It's for you to acknowledge, to say take action and move forward. Okay, we have Taurus underneath. Now Taurus is in Uranus at the moment, and it is playing its role with Aquarius. So just make sure that you are aware of these aspects. Have got a lot to do with the here and now in our planetary transits. So for you to move forward in any, if you're, especially for the Aquariuses that I'm speaking to that are in the darker or very, very disturbed by certain energies at the moment, with the 12th house being there, take action to get clear-minded, get out of the house, make those dreams come true, but don't start anything set in stone either, because we're in Mercury retrograde. So just make the plans to bring clarity to your dreams in a sense, but that's the action taken. And then for anything to move forward, you need to be able to realize that those things need to manifest by you taking further action again. Mars is definitely at play for wherever it is in your chart, whatever sign is governing it. Look to that sign and how it's actually affecting you at present. Yeah. So for some reason I'm just drawn entirely to the numbers on these cards at the moment. We've got 9, and we've got 1, which is 10, and we've got 5, which is 15, which is equal to 6. Okay, so this is work. This is also health. Okay, so you may need to make drastic changes to your health, otherwise your health could be affected if you stay in a dark sense of self with that 12th house placement being there, or 12th house. Snap out of it, move forward, take that action, move forward. Find something to keep your mind active, at least for now. If you're not going to manifest, if you're not going to do those things that necessarily reach your dreams, then take the time out to be creative and not sit and dream and daydream and be in an illusional state of mind. It is necessary for you to take that action out, otherwise it could backfire. And sixth house, because it is related to health, it could be very much the mental plane. Like I said, there was Gemini, there was Aquarius, they're both air signs. There could be a lot of mental conflict, so take action to move forward into the light. Leave the fears behind. Okay guys, that's all I have for you. Please like, share and subscribe, and talk soon.